Peace and hotep to the family. Today is the 18th, so we're dealing with knowledge, build, or destroy. All things being born or born. All right. Born is a complete resurrection from a state of mental death, or coming forth from your old earth, or being born to self. In other words, knowing self. Okay. When you get into it, gods with no training are doomed to be devil, while gods with straight and strict guidance are destined to be masters of success. Okay. This week just passed, you had Martin Luther King Day. Okay, and we know that great brother was killed on April 4th, 1968. Okay, they took a great brother from us, that great orator, great uplifter of the people, great man all in all. Besides a few particular things that I would say, just dealing with the Christianity and the turn the other cheek and the non-violence or non-combative aspect, I would say was the core of the problem with that movement. But if you do some study and research on Malcolm, you would see that, Brother Martin, you would see that later on in his life, he actually came out with a statement saying that, I fear I have integrated my people into a burning house, and just going off of that, we can see that in his later years he started to come out of that thinking of integration and got back to more of the build self and build nation kind of a mind state, and stop trying to integrate with other people who don't want to accept you, and to build your own, basically. So we ultimately see that the non-violence aspect gets you killed, just like the more radical views of the Malcolm X's or the Dr. Khalid Muhammad's, and of those people that was more radical with their movements. You see that got them assassinated, just as Martin Luther King, who came from a standpoint of being non-violent and a turn the other cheek Christian-based mentality. So we see that both led to death for speaking and being black. So we see that coming from either standpoint, our people are being killed for being who we are. Whether you're on whatever side of it, whether you're a Christian, they will still shoot you down. They probably don't even acknowledge you as being a Christian as they are. They probably see that as something that they probably don't even think you're an actual Christian. To be right and honest about it. And we see our brothers being assassinated, and yet generations go on, and we have our young brothers and young youths going through situations where we're destroying our own people. We are supplied these arms and this weaponry from the white man, from the European, from the oppressor, and we go ahead and take that and help to annihilate our own people. You don't see these people these brothers that call themselves thugs or gangsters shooting up the police station. What you see going on is a self-destruction or self-destructive mentality that we put on each other, when it was the European who enslaved your people. It was the European who raped and pillaged and burned your people, and hung your people and lynched your people and cut open the woman's stomach while they was pregnant with an unborn child, and stomped the baby while the baby was still connected to the woman's umbilical cord. These are some of the atrocities and the things that have happened to our people. But we consider ourselves, some of us brothers out here consider ourselves thugs or gangsters shooting up our own people. We got to figure out who the real enemy is and get out of this mental enslavement, mental bondage. Killing our own people, but won't lift a finger against the white man. You will go work for the white man and go to your block and beef with somebody that look just like you. It's insanity. And it ties right into the mental enslavement. We got to do better as a people. As brothers and sisters, we are all connected. We got to find out and pinpoint exactly who the enemy is. And if you have hatred built up inside of you and you want to act with violence, point it in the right direction is all I'm saying. I'm not saying go ahead and shoot anything up. But I'm saying if that is your mind state and your mentality, point it in the right direction and do the rest of the brothers and sisters trying to live righteously a favor. And go head to head with the majority's enemy. Because there's no man on this earth as wicked as the European that's committed the amount of atrocities and pillaged and burned and enslaved the people in Africa. And then you want to go to Nagasaki and Hiroshima, and the bombs dropped on countless numbers of people, shattering lives. But you opening that Bible every day. But the ones who run your government are following a different God than you are. Gold, oil, and drugs. That's their God. They're not praising to no Jesus Christ. They praying to the almighty dollar. And that's something we have to be aware of and take advantage of. Have to come together and stop hating on somebody when we see them doing something that we deem impossible for us to do. Find your own creative niche, your own creative slot, and bring it to fruition. I know we think things into existence. We have to start manifesting positivity. We know what we are capable of doing, but we push it to the side. We all know the people who are great at certain things that they don't even follow, or they don't push to the forefront because it can't make them immediate money. We have to start catching the kids young and finding what they like to do and pushing them to do that. Be it however creatively it is, whatever it may be. If it's even art to drawing to, what do you want to be? Do you want to be an artist? To writing? Do you want to publish works? Do you want to be whatever you want to be? Do you want a mechanic? Our main aim has to be ownership. You can't pass on the job for the white man down to your kids. You might be able to put in a word or a recommendation, but that's still not guaranteeing that your child will get the job that you spent your life working at. But now, if you put your mind to something that you knew you were capable, more than capable to do, and actually great at, you could actually build a foundation that will last the test of time, that would physically be here. And certain ideas that you had and certain mental bases that you started from and elevated from, that information will still be here for our children, which is who we need to do it for. Our people. When I say our people, I mean black people, us melanated beings. I speak for us because we are the best in the worst position, or the best in the worst situation. And we need to come up out of it. But we need unity to do so. Don't be so quick to judge or turn up your face or put a frown on your face because you see somebody doing something that you didn't have the mental fortitude to do. We deal too much with the competitive nature of the people who should be striving for one similar goal. If you push me up, I'm going to reach back down and pull you up. You are my brother. You are my sister. And I mean that from the bottom of me. You know somebody doing something that can improve themselves or others of their community, of their people, you support that. You push that. Be it whatever it may be. You know a brother cutting hair, you know a sister braiding, you know a sister that can sew, we need to bring these things together and make a conglomerate of actual individuals, black individuals who want to see ourselves prosper. and get out of this me mentality. Like I said, you push me up, I turn around and pull you up, brother, and we complete that cycle until we have reached the top, the mountaintop. We need to keep this in our heads and move forward with this and actually live the math. It's not enough to just walk around calling yourself God and calling yourself goddess. To my brothers and sisters, we got to do more. We have to do the research and know scientifically, historically, why we are what we are and what we come from. We come from greatness. Once you know you come from greatness, you look at yourself sideways when you even get a thought that is unpure or unrighteous. Not saying it's not. It's easy to stop doing anything that has been forced upon you and your people for a matter of hundreds of years. You're dealing with PTSD, not post-traumatic stress disorder, but post-traumatic slavery disorder. That is what we are dealing with our people. I believe I heard that from brother Polite with that one. We are dealing with post-traumatic slavery disorder. You can't put a people through 400 plus years of chattel slavery and bondage and expect them to live righteous lives in a matter of years. It's not going to happen. It's not possible, people. We got to take this a step at a time. This poison has been kicked and pitched on us for the longest. For the longest. 400 plus years of slavery we talking. It is not too far removed. Your grandmother's grandmother saw these atrocities and dealt with enslavement. We got to think we're not too far removed from this, but so soon we forget. And so soon we pick up this me mentality. That is another poison given to us from the white man or the European. If you don't know the ledge, you will fall. Knowledge, know the ledge. If you cannot see the ledge, you will fall. We got to come to a complete 360 degrees. We got to be born to self. Say born is a complete resurrection from a state of mental death. Stuck in the triple stages of darkness. Deaf, dumb, and blind. We got to wake up, people. We got to wake up and we got to do better. It's not just us. I speak for the unborn generations. And for the generations who don't have the mental capacity to speak in the way that I do. And the ones who have passed, who are crying out in anguish to the descendants to stand up for self. Obtain the knowledge and use it for the betterment of self and nation. You and your people, you are divine. We are so caught up in the Europeans' mind of thinking that we are even raised going through our schools, making fun of the kids who are darker skins or have more melanin in their skin. Even at a young age, you look back in your school life. I bet you probably did it too, if you were in a public schooling system. See the darkest brother, and you're like, ha ha, brother, you charcoal, you black, you dark as hell, midnight. That is a slave mentality. Slave mentality. Knowing that that is what we come from. And if we lived ourselves still close to the equator like those people did and came from after we did, we would still be that color or just as dark as those people. The more sunlight you get, the darker you become. And us being melanated beings, the darker you are, the more energy or the more light you obtain through self. Okay? This is what we're dealing with. But that is something that's pushed upon you through the mental bondage that we are still in and going through. We are still going through that. That's still where we are. The same time as Dr. Martin Luther King who was assassinated on April 4th, 1968, well before I was on this planet, or I was on this earth, or on this plane of existence. Well before. I'm talking about 20 plus years. And we have seen no change. We think because we saw a black man in office, something changed for the better. It did not. We are still not equal in the eyes of the European or the oppressor. Still not. When we are the masters of civilization, we are the first known writers creating language, written language. That is us. That comes from Africa, our people. But we're looked down upon or treated as savage. Once you know self, your strive for knowledge will become something monumental, will be a monumental force inside of you, pushing you to learn more and do more research. Because you don't learn this in westernized schools with European curriculum. You can even go to college where you are in debt thousands of dollars, and you still are not taught about your people. You can't go to any school, any European westernized Neanderthal set of schooling, and expect to learn about the greatness of your people. That's that hater mindset. Now we see where it comes from. European won't tell you about the greatness. European won't tell you that your people were living in great civilizations, building powerful and great monuments that were aligned with the stars, while they were still living in mud huts, barely coming out of the cave yet, dealing with Neanderthals who we had to civilize. Do the research. Don't take anything I tell you at face value, family. It is important to do the research. Smart man can play stupid, but a stupid man can't play smart. Do the research, family. If you won't do it for yourself, do it for your child, or do it for your unborn child, or do it for your ancestors. If you won't do it for yourself, get this research, download it, subscribe to a channel, look up certain scholars, do the research. It's there. We are in a technological age, family. This information is at your fingertips at all times. We know the majority of us can't be separated from our phones as it is. So that information is 9 times out of 10 less than 2 or 3 feet away from you at all times. We got to deal with the information, family. Our information for our people. The more you know about where you came from and the greatness from which you came, the more you will strive to become better and want to do greater things, not just for self, but for nation. Our people have been ripped apart, shot down, dead in these streets by this European who traded in the white rag for the cop badge. We're still dealing with this, family. Whether you got a doctorate, a bachelor's, master's, they will shoot you down. Shoot you down dead. So we have to unify. Stop spending the dollar on nonsense that we don't need, when we can be multiplying the funds by the amount of people who are coming together in a proper mind state and pushing positivity. You can't dodge it if it's coming at you from all angles. It's going to be there at all times. And that's all I'm trying to do. So support me, support you. Help me, help you. This is why we need to do this, family. Get it together for our people. Gods with no training, are doomed to be devil, while gods with straight and strict guidance are destined to be masters of success. Divine Justice TV, one love, family.